first met our guest speaker when I was new in CIE about a decade ago. I had just entered the lobby of the CIE main campus when I was approached by a student no older than you are now. He called me by name and extended his right hand to me in greeting. His handshake was firm and sure. He identified himself, and I realized that I had probably met him when he was with his parents in a real estate event. I hadn't remembered him from our previous meeting, but he made sure that from that day on, I would. In the next few years, I would remember our guest speaker as an active participant in the school's leadership programs and various activities. He held key roles in the annual productions, violin recitals, and variety shows, in fencing, football, or photography. And in academics, he was outstanding in business studies, history, information, and communication technology. In our Gift of Gold program, he led the group that dared to conceptualize as its product a lightweight coffin made from indigenous and biodegradable materials. He graduated from CIE Basic Education in 2010 as class salutatorian. Taking his chosen course of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture at the University of the Philippines in Los Baños, our guest kept his momentum while continuing to balance his studies with a vocation of leadership. For most of his college years, he was in the school's honor roll and even made it to college scholar on his third year. He was vice chairperson of the University Student Council in 2013 to 2014, chairperson of the College of Agriculture Students Council in 2012 to 2013, and counselor of the College of Agriculture Student Council in 2011 to 2012. Upon his graduation, he was awarded the UP Los Baños Alumni Association Outstanding Student Leadership Award and was inducted as a member of the Gamma Sigma Delta, the Honor Society of Agriculture. He wasted no time in qualifying for his license as an agriculturist, and since June of last year, he has worked as a researcher at the Next Generation Consultancy, a United Kingdom-based consultancy firm that focuses on developing integrated food and energy systems to address climate change, food security, and the growing energy demand. They hold office at the International Rice Research Institute in Los Baños. Last February, our guest was chosen as the lone Philippine representative to the Young Professionals for Agriculture Development, or YPARD, an international movement for and by young professionals who contribute to innovative and sustainable agricultural development. This selection comes as no surprise, as our guest is an advocate who counts business, politics, history, global development, and hunger and poverty reduction as among his passionate interests. He continues to sharpen his skills in public speaking as a member of the International Rice Research Institute Toastmasters Club. Today, he has taken valuable time out from his professional duties to be with us and to share his story of determination and success to you who are about to follow his path to higher education and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to our fellow CIAN, Mr. Jim Leandro Cano.
Thank you for that very kind and generous introduction, Sir Jerry. Teacher Nelia, Doc Jay, Teacher Dag, parents, teachers, the relatives, especially the graduates. Very pleasant afternoon to all of you. Graduates, may I ask a favor just for this moment? May I please ask you to stand up just for a short while. Please stand up and say thank you from your seats to your parents and to your teachers, to the school administrators. You can wave, you can just say, or you can shout it out.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, you can sit down now. These are the people who have helped you reach this very moment. This moment is something that we could share with those around us. Joy and laughter with family, friends, titos, titas, and the perennial fans, the forever perpetual fans. Si Lolo ug si Lola. Ama, Angkong, Guama, Guakong. Today, you have accomplished a significant chapter in your life. Tap your shoulder and congratulate yourself. It is a privilege and honor to be speaking in front of this specific batch. I remember you very dearly. Not so long ago, you were the kids that we campaigned to for student council. You have not only accomplished an academic achievement, but you've also achieved to become taller than me, especially the boys. CIE is not just an ordinary school. It is a living experience. It's not only a center for international education, but I would say a center for intelligent entrepreneurship. It is dynamic, evolving, a free-flowing source of emerging leaders for today. The leaders from CIE can be found in the academe, in business, in finance, in economics, government, and almost every other field. And above all, leaders in our own families. The tiny seed of courage, the smallest idea of creativity, that minute sense of ambition, the intense desire to improve and innovate, all these are nurtured in CIE. CIE is not just an ordinary school campus to learn and achieve academic recognition, learn music and the arts, but it is a campus, a place of hard knocks that disciples and molds us into true human being, prepared to live for others and serve others. You are now elisionally polished. You are sharpened and ready to take on the college life. A few days ago, there were groups who petitioned the Supreme Court that the K-12 program should not be implemented. Several reasons were forwarded, ranging from unnecessary additional expenses for families, more expenses for private schools, displaced teachers during the transition, etc., etc., etc. Well, we will leave that to the Supreme Court to decide. But as for me, I did not just have a K-12 program. In fact, I had a K+18 program. Why? I entered CDCC at 1 year and a half. I graduated CIE with Rochelle at age of 20 or 21. Can you imagine how I enjoyed life? In school and out of school? When I entered CDCC, our family was affluent, financially comfortable, no problems. But in 1998, the Asian financial crisis hit, and our real estate business was seriously affected. I had to quit CDCC. For 4 years, I was out of school. But we continued supporting my sisters who were studying college in Manila. Practically, I was an out-of-school youth for the meantime. Those years actually made me realize that many things can also be learned outside of the formal classrooms. So what was I doing? Well, I was not bumming around and just lying down in bed. In fact, I was learning life's realities. It was a period of introspection, and definitely a time of great challenges. I observed how my parents coped with the situation. How as a family we were united and tried to stay intact despite the circumstances. Together, we prayed as if everything depended on God, and we worked hard as if everything depended on us. Every day our faith grew stronger in Him, and His grace was so sufficient that we were able to survive and overcome. Sure, there are situations that will come our way, disruptions, obstacles, and circumstances that will come. They may be unexpected, and they will come in different forms. What is important for us is to recognize these challenges, to accept them, and to respond correctly. The best response is to make these challenges our stepping stones, to go up higher and higher in heights of achievement. My 4-year absence from CIE brought me to several productive and spiritually rewarding activities. While with our home library intact, I kept on reading on books, on leadership, and having learned how to play the violin in CIE, I developed it myself by taking private music theory lessons from a certified professor from the London Symphony Orchestra. I played and honed my violin skills, and I even learned how to play the drums. Music had given me the chance to travel around, bring heavenly sounds, if you may, to crowds in Araneta Coliseum, Cuneta Astrodome, and in Baguio City. But on one eventful day, there was an interruption, a divine interruption. Out of the blue, my sister called me, and she was in a meeting with Teacher Nelia. When Teacher Nelia learned of how our family hit rock bottom because of the crisis, she did the unexpected. She offered me a full scholarship for high school back in CIE. Well, people say, boys don't cry. I say, men, real men cry. And I did that out of joy. So I would be back to CIE, the school that I loved so much, the people that I've loved so much, the photographer Manang Pina that I've seen since I was toddler. I never went to other formal schools, despite the prodding of my parents. I don't know why. And there, Teacher Nelia was used by God as an instrument to fulfill my own version of MacArthur, I shall return. So I came back. I did my best to excel in all the subjects and be at service through the student council. And some of you may still remember me as the guy in red socks, blue pants, and a cape, running as a president under Heroes Party. I joined different clubs every year just so I could develop myself in different aspects. Photography club, fencing club, repertory club. That's one special thing about CIEans. We are well-rounded people. Why? There's a vast opportunity in CIE to develop oneself. But I would say that the biggest contribution of CIE was that it instilled that care and concern for others through the Gift of Gold program, or what we know as GOG. GOG may have entailed a lot of hard work, pressure, stress. At a young age, we might say this stress is unnecessary. But I say to you, that is something very significant in your life. Ever since then, I've had this desire to eradicate poverty because of what GOG had instilled in me. And I encourage you, dear graduates, keep that within you. Keep that heart to help others. Keep that heart to be concerned about the people around you. That drive to create opportunities, that heart to help. We must be leaders who know how to push people up and who know how to pull people up. The country definitely needs more of you, more of CIEans. So I ended my stint with CIE, equipped and ready to confront the bigger work in university. My dear graduates, you too have gone through the intense preparation of CIE. Late night practice for school plays, intense fencing training, cheer dance competition, etc., etc., and on top of all that, academics. CIE has definitely prepared you for bigger tasks, tasks bigger than you. And as I can see in your eyes, you look like you have the boldness and the will and determination to succeed in different areas of Cebu, Manila, or even the world. If you feel that you are not ready yet, let me tell you, you are. CIE has done its part. 5 years back, I was in the same situation as you are now, feeling like at a crossroad. I was thinking if I should take real estate as a course in the National University of Singapore. No, my dad convinced me otherwise. He said, what's needed in the country is agriculture. I was baffled. Here comes the CIE person, business studies, International British School, agriculture? Why? So he took me to our farm in Leyte, took me to our farm in Bohol, took me to a farm in Batangas, went around, and he let me read some articles on agribusiness. I saw the potential in agriculture. There is potential business in agriculture. It can help communities, especially in the rural areas. So I jumped into the idea. Without any second thoughts, I applied for BS Agriculture at the top university that offers the program, the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. I went into UP with a mission: learn as much, be as much, serve as much. And just after my enrollment at UP, my dad and I met Dr. Romulo Davide, who is also a Cebuano, an agriculturist, a Magsaysay awardee for his farmer scientist training program. He has trained Filipino farmers to become scientists and entrepreneurs. He was happy to welcome me to UPLB, and he inspired me even further to pursue agriculture and supported me. Along with his wife, Dr. Clara Davide, they both have excelled in their fields to help people. These are people who we should even emulate. In UPLB, I was a small fish in a huge pond. I definitely had to make connections within the university. Just as I made sure that Sir Jerry would remember me, I made sure that every person I met, be it in class, at the park, virtually everywhere, I made myself known to people. I introduced myself as the guy from Cebu who has a difficulty speaking Tagalog. Remember, connections, remember that these connections will become your assets, because your network is your net worth. So don't be intimidated. You are CIEans. Leaders are not intimidated to introduce themselves. In the course of making connections, I actually made one special connection. This connection became my girlfriend. And so in finding a partner, I encourage you to be purposeful. Probably set a criteria. For me, I was thinking, will she compliment me? Do we share the same goals and dreams? Yes, I found a veterinary medicine student who also has a heart to help people and create farm businesses. Not to mention, also pretty. I joined UP Campus Politics. because I still wanted to serve the people. From what I knew and what most of us know is that UP is filled with radical activists. They say junk this, no to this, rally here and rally there. So I was thinking, would I become one of these guys? Maki baka. But then I was invited by a political party, not the very radical ones, the ones who seemed quite more composed, yet still passionate in making a difference in the community, the campus, and the nation. I ran under that party and I served for 3 years in the student council. Today, I work at the World Agroforestry Center under that consultancy. We're based in a rice research institute, the International Rice Research Institute. What we do are small things. The research may be small, but in the bigger picture, it has an effect. Why do I say this? Because 2 weeks ago, the world's richest man visited our headquarters. The guy behind the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Mr. Bill Gates himself, went to our headquarters and visited for 6 hours. Without any media coverage and almost incognito, he visited the laboratories, the experimental farms from morning till 3 in the afternoon. He has a net worth of $79 billion in 2014. But he has this heart to help people. And he has this farmer's heart. This heart of his to nurture ideas and technology to create opportunities for people. This is the kind of example that we business leaders should emulate. He is the epitome of service and excellent leadership. So don't just aim to be rich and wealthy. Don't just aim to create a business to gain recognition, but have that heart to effect positive change in people's lives. All the training in CIE prepared me for bigger things. The same is true for you. You are ready for bigger things. But always remember, leaders serve. Remember that the higher the tree goes, the deeper the roots go. So what am I trying to say? No matter how high you go in life, stay rooted and stay humble. As CIEans, a school for leaders means that we have to be the best at serving. Serving those around us, whether it be in the campus, the community around you, the nation, or the world. Have that desire to leave a mark wherever you go. Don't just go through life without leaving a legacy, without making a path for others to follow. Peter Drucker, the father of management, said, the best way to create the future, the best way to predict the future is to create it. And as leaders, we have to be able to see into the future and bring it to the present. As an advocate of poverty eradication, that's what I did when I saw the opportunity to see young professionals collaborate for agricultural development. Today I serve as the Philippine Country Representative of the Young Professionals for Agricultural Development, or YPARD, an international movement with 55 national chapters around the world, getting young professionals to join in and help alleviate millions of people from poverty. This is going to be done through academia, research, instruction, the public and the private sector. But all these things I did, doing the best I can in everything. You may ask, why do that? Actually, back in 2010, this one influential guy triggered something in me. He spoke at a conference here in Cebu in 2010. His name was Miles Monroe. He asked the crowd a question: what is the richest place on earth? What is the richest place on earth? Is it the World Bank? Or is it somewhere in your backyard? Everybody was confounded. To my surprise, he answered the question and said, the cemetery. Why the cemetery? He said, many people die bringing with them their gifts, their talents, their ideas, their dreams, without sharing it with the world. He said, we should die empty. We have to maximize our lives, our potential, and everything that we could do. Last year, Miles Monroe passed away, but he surely died empty. From that time till now, my life's goal has been to live full and die empty. So what I have accomplished and what you will accomplish, together, this is the success of CIE. This is where we have been nurtured, trained to be leaders. So as I come to a close, fellow CIEans, we may have different directions in life. Some of you may take courses, some of you may not even be interested in agriculture, that's okay. But you see, our different directions will still have to make a change in this world. And as you leave the corridors of high school, as you leave the corridors of J Center, set a vision, pursue it, because people without vision perish. Circumstances, like I said a while ago, will come unexpectedly, but if you have a vision, you will endure. Face the challenges and allow them to develop your character as a person. Do not try to be someone else. Do not try to be the person beside you. You are the best you, and the world needs to see that. You are now equipped to serve. Be the servant leaders that CIE has molded you to be. Lastly, dear graduates, tell the person next to you, live full, die empty. Congratulations, batch 2015.
Thank you very much, Jim.